Wait, what? Oh God, finally. Okay, I think we're live.
Oh, are we?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I'm just, oh my God. Let me just, God, what a day.
Yes, you are definitely live.
Okay, is sound okay? Guys, yeah, there was a black screen. I'm getting everything going. Because it didn't even give me the prompt for YouTube, which is bizarre. Can you hear Sotek all right? Sotek, can you just say something just to check the levels?
Hopefully, I think I bet they can. I bet.
Yeah, sorry guys, I've just been having, I don't know, some sort of crisis. I don't know.
I've also been having one of those weeks. If it makes you feel better, we'll talk about it here in a minute.
Okay, everyone says it's good. Okay, cool. I'm really sorry, guys. We're half an hour late, and that's all my fault. I'm really sorry.
We are all good. All right, you ready to hop into it?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lorebeards. We're in an off day because this week has been a little crazy for me and Nathan both, which we'll talk about in a bit. But we're here. Also, just want to make a quick note that there will not be an episode on this upcoming Sunday, so don't look for that. This one's kind of a halfway between.
Yeah.
We'll probably do a catch-up episode sometime next week as well, and then get back to on Sundays.
Yeah.
But we hope you're all doing well. Goodness knows that things are kind of crazy right now. There's just a lot going on, I think, in everybody's lives. It's just that time of year or something. I don't know. Nathan, what's going on, dude? What's happening?
Not much. Not honestly, not much. Between technical issues and slamming my head into the wall, I think that's all I can really say. Technical issues and slamming my head into the wall. You know, fun times. Fun times.
That's fun. Yeah, so it's been kind of my sleep schedule is super just screwed this week. It's been so awful. And then on top of that, I was prepping my lunch before we came live. And it's like I cut my thumb open, which was great. It's a great start to today. After I went to the store, but yeah, it's been kind of an interesting week of just I don't know. It's just been a hard week, and there's been like really bad weather down in Texas, like tornadoes and stuff. So that's been super fun. You know, whenever the sky just decides that it's gonna try and kill you, everything you own. But we're still alive, hanging in there, doing good. Today is going to be a little more disorganized than our usual thing, but that's okay. We'll manage. We'll get through it. There's actually a surprising amount to talk about. But I think, Nathan, where would you like to start for today? We should do Tale of Two Gamers.
Yeah.
We should just do that first. All right. If you want to pull up the hashtag, I did see there's a good number of entries for today.
Yeah. If it decides to work.
Once you've got that pulled up on latest, let me know, and we will hop into it.
I need a display capture. Oh, God. So updating my drivers, if you can believe it or not, has deleted all my scenes on my streaming software.
Today's just a hard day, isn't it?
It really is. It really, really is. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Are you good?
I think so.
All right. entry here is from Hios06, and he's got Blood for the Blood God with... I can't remember if these are skull grinders or I think they
Wrathmongers.
are.
Wrathmongers.
Or Wrathmongers, that's right. That was the word. I was like, I can't remember. It's like there's Blood Warriors, Skull Grinders, and it is okay. Wrathmongers. I actually really like these guys. First of all, the paint job's great. Paint job looks very, very nice. Second of all, I love big flail dudes. We didn't get a lot of these in fantasy. I think mainly because like they couldn't really do it with the way they designed the minis back then.
Yeah.
But I just love big flails. There's something about them that's just so like just imagining just like whipping that stuff around your head and then slamming it into people is so delightful, especially with those big bloody hammers.
I think the only other flail units, or at least the more commonly used ones, were the Marauders, right?
In tabletop, the only places you'd see flails were like Marauders, Plague Censer Bearers, Flagellants.
Yeah.
There were a couple, but they were very rare. And the flails that we had back in fantasy are itty bitty things. they're really tiny. These ones are like absolutely over the top, ludicrous, massive. But I love it. They look great.
Yeah, they look really, really, really cool.
But the paint job looks great. Like the armor is like super clean and nice. The blood turned out super well. The hammers look great. The skin looks great. Like they look like they're bleeding through their pores, but it's not to the extent that you can't still like make out the details and everything. Looks absolutely fantastic, Hios. Oh, I never realized that the guy on the left has mutated feet. He's got claw feet instead of armor.
Yeah, same as like, what's his face though as the character.
Yeah, I wonder if he's the unit champion. Looks good though.
I'm assuming that the unit champion would be the guy in the middle, right?
I mean, he looks like the unit champion, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I honestly don't remember too many people using them during the end times, in all honesty.
Oh, yeah, neither do I. I think they were too expensive for most people.
Yeah.
Next up for Ray, we've got Thanquol and Bone Ripper. Oh, I love this mini. I love this mini so much.
That's really nice.
It's such a damn gorgeous job. Went with the Warpfire Braziers, which are, in my opinion, harder to paint than the Warp Flame Throwers, because they've got those big fire trails coming off all of them. But it's just... this is from Ray's friend, but still, just a fantastic paint job. I love the way we've seen Ray's mysterious friend posting a number of really, really cool pieces, and they always look really great, and this one looks great. Definitely a different like theming color. It's a lot more purple and red than the traditional Thanquol and Bone Ripper, but I think it looks really, really nice.
Yeah, I think the traditional one has more blue, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Thanquol I think traditionally has more of like grayish blue robes. But this turned out super duper well, and one detail I love on this mini is how he's got like the bruising around the like surgery scars.
Yeah.
The like stitches where Bone Ripper's chest, which that's pretty hype. That looks great.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. Honestly, I love the miniature. If it wasn't the fact that he was so overcosted in the end times, I would have fielded him a lot more, but like, damn, this is so good. This is really, really pretty.
Yeah, he's very fun in AOS right now. I wouldn't say he's like competitive necessarily. I think he's okay. But I had a ton of fun fighting him. I actually fought a Thanquol and Screech Vermin King duo build at the Austin Grand Tournament, which was the Dallas Grand Tournament, Lone Star, which was a lot of fun. And Thanquol single-handedly evaporated some of my units.
Nice.
All right, next up from Haunchy, we've got Hobgoblin Blood Bowl players for his Chaos Dwarf team. Oh, look, and he's got a Minotaur and a bull centaur as well. That is
really
absolutely fantastic.
Contrast paint works very well for the hobgoblin clothing. That is really nice.
Yeah, it gives it that like really like it looks like that proper amount of dirty.
Yeah.
Without being like super over the top.
What's the cloth color? Is that skeletal bone? Or snakebite leather, maybe.
One of the two.
It's
definitely
nice.
contrast.
Yeah, but it's just really nice. I quite like the color.
Yeah, the green skin turned out very, very nice too.
Very bright, but like not too bright. It's nice. It's really, really nice. I think that's is that orc flesh or is it that warpfire flesh? Not warpfire flesh. Warp flame or something like that. Oh god, I can't remember anything today. I just can't.
Yeah, and it looks really nice with the rest of his team too. Like that green and yellow is such a nice pop next to the bull centaur and the minotaur, while the blue and red still ties them all together. Just turned out really, really nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
That's looking great, Hachi. Keep it up. Next up, we've got Florian Neratio with a Beast of Nurgle that is so gross.
That's really nice.
The flesh tube hair turned out super duper good. So did the places where he used like the yellowish color. It's got like a really nice natural slime texture to it. Man, that is a gross model.
Yeah. That is so cool. It fits really well. I think the painting is really well done.
Yeah, just lots of boils and pustules and cuts, and it's just like, man, Beasts of Nurgle, I love them conceptually, but god, do I hate looking at them. They're just gross. They're just massively gross. Blech. Moving on. Great job on that, Florian. We've got Knight in Flames with Mournfang Cavalry.
Those are
oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks so good. And like the snow texture that's just like on his shoulders and like just the little raised areas. And the base is stupid good.
That is really
oh my
nice.
gosh.
Question, since you're more familiar with Age of Sigmar, because I see this happening a lot, like it's not just players, it's GW too. Are like the ogres now frost or something?
So there are two kinds of ogre subfactions. So you have the Gutbusters, which are like classic ogres, but that's only for like infantry and noblars.
Right.
And then you have the Beastclaw Raiders, which the Beastclaw Raiders are all of the mounted ogres, and they are a frost-themed race. And they also have the Yetis. So it's like Yetis, Thunder Tusks, and Mournfang Riders, and Stonehorns are their own subfaction. And they're all about that they're constantly being chased by what's known as the Everwinter, which is like a pseudo-sentient blizzard that is like forever hungry and chasing them around. So they're a frost theme. They are the frost faction in Age of Sigmar.
Right. That looks really, really cool. I like the aesthetic, and the fucking Mournfang looks epic. Like,
yeah, the fur is so stupid good looking. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
And like the ogre's great. Like, god, Night in Flame stuff is just so nice to look at, and the base, like, it's just so nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
It looks great, Night. It looks great.
Then
and then on from that, we have a damsel. So we got a classic Bretonnian damsel in here.
Yeah, that is lovely. Oh, magnetized.
And that mini looks great considering how old it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. Very smart to magnetize it too, because like you never know if you can use it in the other setting. Blonde hair looks so good on the damsels. It makes them pop really, really well.
It does. Yeah, this looks great. Like I love that mini. Love the damsel minis. I think you went with a really nice color scheme. Looks great. The hair, I do agree. The hair in particular turned out super nice.
That's really, really nice. Yeah.
That looks very, very nice, Vergoner. Thank you for submitting that. We appreciate it. Juan Dugnak. With his Dragon Dice Tower.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. That looks like it took a while. It looks like it took a hot minute. That's a really cool dice tower. Most of them are just like usually really simple like plastic thingies. This one's basically it's almost like a diorama in and of itself.
Yeah, like you can easily have that on your table as like a little bit of a display piece and then just use it. That's really cool.
Yeah, not only does it look sexy, but it also functions. Like, what a nice mix-up.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I'm pretty sure... Yes, we already saw Catacross. Yeah. So let me make sure there was no last... Okay, we had one last-second entry from Baron Lloyd, who got in here some Plague Toads!
Nice.
And they are very slimy looking. He used some wet-looking paints on those Plague Toads.
I do like the Plague Toads. I've actually refinished. I've just finished propping mine onto their intended squares, so I can actually start basing them like they're painted and all that. It's a unit which I've always admired, and these look fucking like grim, man. These look grim. I like it.
Yeah, they look fantastic. Great job, Baron. Keep up the good work, and congrats to you for having Plague Toads. Not the easiest model to acquire these days.
At all. I think it's like, what? Last I saw on a reseller website, it was like 120 for 3 of them, so £40 per model.
Yeah, and he's got 6, which is not too shabby.
Okay.
All right, so before we hop off of Twitter, there is something that has been revealed on Twitter that I think's worth chatting about.
Yeah.
Which is, well, actually, there's 2 things on Twitter worth chatting about, but the first is that Darktide has a release date.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's finally happening. Oh my god. Spam your it's happening memes wherever they may be.
September
13th.
Fucking hell, that should be quite cool. I've been looking forward to it. Like, it's just, I can't believe it's finally happening.
I know, like, it's kind of one of those things that, it had its fair number of delays. I think one or two delays, but kind of haven't heard about it in a hot while. So It's just sort of like, is it still happening? And now they're just like, their release date. Like, they didn't even wait for I expected them to wait for some kind of event, or a con, and instead they're just like, nope, there you go. So, if you're excited for Darktide, it's going to be coming out on Xbox and PC on September 13th, and you can already wishlist it on Steam if you are so inclined. And for anyone who's like, what the hell is Darktide? It is the 40k Vermintide game.
Yeah.
So exact same developers, very similar style, but with 40k characters and 40k weapons and 40k enemies, etc.
Which means if you didn't like Vermintide too much because it was too centered on melee, this is all guns, mostly.
Yeah, this one is presumably going to be much more shooty heavy.
Yeah. I hope they do skins and stuff, man. I hope they do skins. Like,
there's no way they won't. Like, that's the only way they can accurately, like, that's the only way they're going to be able to monetize it, Yeah. Like, what else are they going to do?
It's just there's so many options, plus, like, I'd love to see if you could get, like, a skin for, like, Steel Legion and stuff like that, because that like, well, what were they called? Career paths instead?
Career paths are the different subclasses. And then, there are skins on top of that, which I'm curious how they're going to handle careers in this game. Because, like, I don't know how many different skins or careers you could do with an Ogren,
Well, there's a few different types of Ogren, so I guess seeing different weapon types. I'm just hoping that they're just going to go full meme and give us a Deathcore Krieg, and we can just beat people to death with a shovel.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be I would be shocked if one of the characters doesn't have a Deathcore skin or weapon set, because that would be hilarious. Like, how can you, like, come on. The shovel is truly the greatest weapon of the 41st millennium.
It is. It is.
Why do you need why have a las cannon when you can have a shovel?
Yeah.
All right, so that's great. And then of course there was one other big announcement that I saw you retweeted, and God forbid, where is it? There it is. So, and I'm not gonna leave my screen up on this. I'm gonna go back to my face. Patch 1.1 is coming. It has been officially announced for Total War Warhammer 3 to be coming out on April 5th? Yes, April 5th. Which is super exciting. We don't know everything that's in it yet, but I'm sure that information will be coming out probably this upcoming week, seeing as, it's coming out in 5 days.
Their post says that the patch notes will be available on the day of deployment.
Okay, well, there you go. And that's going to be super awesome, because I finally finished my review of Total War Warhammer 3, and it's being edited right now. So it's like, great, I can't wait to put this out, and it'll be immediately invalidated within 2 days. But that's on me. So there you go. I'm excited. This is going to be, hopefully it's going to be a big patch, and it'll have just, like, we've of course seen hints of some of the fixes that are coming.
Yeah.
Which we talked about last episode of Lorebeards.
Yeah.
But yeah, exciting times, man. Exciting times.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we finally have a date. Because yeah, I mean, we've been waiting. It's good that we finally know, and the changes did seem, the stuff that they put out on a blog. What was it? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Week and a half, 2 weeks, yeah, something like that.
My timing is very thrown off at the moment. I but like
me too. Hey, you're preaching to the choir, man. I haven't been up during daytime till today, so I've been purely nocturnal for like the last 4 or 5 days.
Oh, jeez. But I mean, it seems positive, so hopefully we get more information soon. I'd love it if they started hinting more, but I guess they're just waiting until the time is right. And at least we know there's a date. At least we know there's a patch coming, which, to be honest, is like just the thing that scared me. So that's great news.
Yeah, and took just a little bit over a month. So about a month and a week, or a month and 2 weeks ish. But overall, I'm really excited to see everything that's going to be in it. Obviously, it's kind of like I think it's what we've seen so far on its own is going to be huge, but I imagine there will be much more. Obviously we will delve into that super hardcore after that happens. Seeing as it's in 5 days, it's going to be out on Friday.
Oh god, so, it's the end of the month already.
Yeah, today's the 31st, so it'll be out in 5 days from right now. So 5 days from today, and we all will have patch 1.1 in our laps.
It's this year is going way too quickly for me.
Yeah, I'm having a similar issue. I like time passing because things happen, but at the same time, like I would appreciate it to slow down a little bit. But yeah, I genuinely deeply cannot wait to get my hands on the patch and really get to mess around with it and see everything. And hopefully it's what a lot of people are waiting for, because I know there are tons of people who are just kind of waiting for the game to get a major update before they come back to it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's not too long now. I'm actually quite surprised. For some reason, I thought it was the 27th today. I'm just...
Nope, it is the 31st.
I really hope I haven't forgotten anything important. I don't know what's going on with me today. But anyways, yeah. I mean, good news. Then, which kind of ties up, I guess, because we did have a question on Twitter on the Lorebeards section.
Oh yeah, from my dudes. Oh yeah. Gosh, hold on, let me pull it up.
Geeks with Shields.
Yes, Geeks with Shields. Great podcast, nice guys. So they asked, question for Lorebeards. Were we spoiled by the Mortal Empires campaign? because I see so many fans frothing at the mouth for Immortal Empires and treating Warhammer 3 as the expensive DLC for the FLC, and it got me wondering, what would it be like if every game was purely standalone? Will we treat these games differently if there wasn't a separate campaign everyone spent so much time bemoaning its absence? I just feel like the community misses the labor that went into the campaigns of Warhammer 3 because they just want to play as the Empire for the 200th time. Nathan, what are your thoughts?
So I don't think we were spoiled by it, because at the end of the day, the way I'm interpreting the question, like if every game was purely standalone, that means that we wouldn't really have like Empire versus Skaven, or Dark Elves versus dwarves or something, you know?
Yeah, well, I think he's asking, do you think that the anticipation of Immortal Empires hurts the standalone experiences for each game?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think there's obviously a bias towards Immortal Empires, mainly because people want to just play with everything. And I understand that. I'll be honest, I'm more excited about Immortal Empires than most things, because, you know, it's just having the option to have everything.
Oh, who isn't?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, but...
Yeah. So I think it's just the case of, like, because the series has been building up. This is one of these things with Total War that obviously it's a gradual build with adding different races and factions. Now that we're just seeing, we've seen this prototype map, as they call it, and now everyone's like, ooh, I can't wait to play that. I think that was kind of the end goal for everyone, in the sense, like, the player base just wanted a world map to be able to do, well, fuckery all over the place, in a sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And what I would add on is that while I could see where the question is coming from, because I sympathize in that it can be frustrating to, like, look around and see just what you feel like is just, like, endless negativity about something that for a lot of people is a pretty fun experience. But what I would add is that the thing is that, like, Warhammer 3, even as a standalone experience, if Immortal Empires just didn't exist, right? Like, let's pretend Warhammer 3 was the first Total Warhammer game, and it released exactly like it did, and we did not know that Immortal Empires is, like, a thing yet, or, like, it was, like, a distant dream or whatever. We hadn't had experiences with Mortal Empires yet. I still think the reaction would have been pretty similar, because the issues that I think a lot of people got upset with in the game don't really have to do with Mortal Empires that much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of the issues, I think, had to do with, like, various design flaws that the game had itself, in that, like, the race for the souls would be just as frustrating to someone who had just, like, this was their first Warhammer game, but their experience with Total War, I think it would have been just as frustrating as it has been for people that are like, hey, I just kind of want to build an empire and I keep getting, like, interrupted by this side thing.
Yeah.
And, like, if I don't pay attention to it, it, like, just forces me to lose. And, like, the Chaos Rifts are just annoying. Like, I really enjoy the Warhammer 3 campaign, and even I find the Chaos Rifts really annoying, especially, like, after, like, you get the third Demon Print Soul, or like, around that ballpark.
Yeah.
Like, the game still had a lot of issues, and I think that contributes more. Now, how do I say this? I think that perhaps Mortal Empire, or the desire for Immortal Empires, may have, like, accelerated or made some of these flaws more obvious than they would have been otherwise. But I don't think its absence would have made us oblivious to them.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I want to put it.
Yeah, no, I get you there. I'd say that people, especially Total War fans, because we have to keep in mind that this game is marketed to two different people, right? It's marketed to Total War fans and it's marketed to Warhammer fans, right? Total War fans in general will want the sandbox experience. So if we would have had like a sandbox option for the Realm of Chaos map, I think people would have been a bit more happier because it allows for the sandbox. It allows for a traditional Total War in a sense. Obviously not true traditional because it's not a historical style, but you know what I mean. Just sit down with a drink and play. Like I said, and I've said it before, I like the campaign. I like the story and all that. But the fact of having to replay the story, for me, is not Total War. I still think that it's a decent campaign, but like from what I wanted is like, because obviously Warhammer 1 had no story, right? Well, it had a story, but it wasn't really a story because
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was basically essentially just like copy pasting from the Attila story, right? From Total War Attila. Eventually the Huns arrive, blah blah blah, and that's what happens, and that's what happened in Warhammer 1. We had the Chaos Invasion, and that's it. Whereas Warhammer 2, I feel like Warhammer 2 was a bit more bearable. I always found Warhammer 2 a bit more bearable, especially when comparing it to Warhammer 3's campaign. But the Mortal Empires was the big goal for me, because it was like, damn, this is a big map. And now,
yeah, I mean, it's one of the core like advertisements of the series. Like even with Warhammer 1, they were like, it's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah, and now we're looking at Warhammer 3, and I'm enjoying the stuff. Like, I'll be very honest with you, I modded out the campaign just so I can play sandbox, and I find it far more enjoyable. But it allows me to just play around and all that. What I want to see is just I want Immortal Empires because I want to be able to play with everything. I'll be very honest, I'm missing certain factions, and I bet you are too.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
So like, I want to be able to play with the vampire counts, even with this. So that's my thing. I want to actually not get bogged down to the same races, because right now they have the same. They don't have different legendary lords, so we're not really playing different stuff. Eventually, it just gets kind of boring, replaying and replaying and replaying. Whereas having all the options, that's why I think so many people want Immortal Empires ASAP. And it's a bit of a weird thing. It is because I understand, and I am completely with the player base here. I think Realm of Chaos could be a little bit better, but if it was a standalone,
I think the only way where it's like, the only way I could have seen Warhammer 3 like avoiding some of that negative feelings it kind of generated by being such a drastic shift would have to be like, it'd have to like not be part of the Total War series in like some alternate universe, right? Like it'd have to be like the first of its kind.
Yeah. And
then, yeah, some of those like design things probably would have been notably less obvious. But I still think that like the game lends itself so hard to empire building, and the Demon Prince race, just as it currently functions, which 1.1 patch 1.1 is going to address a lot of these issues. Just the way it currently functions, it punishes you for like trying to engage in like the game's core system, which is just a little weird.
Yeah.
I think that would be obvious no matter what had happened around the game.
Yeah. I mean, empire building is Total War, right? It's very it's been changed around when it comes to like loads of different things. Obviously the Beastmen don't empire build, right? What else? Not so much really, I guess, because obviously you just take the magical forest and all that. But that's fine for a few different races, but it kind of feels like you're stuck without empire building. And I want to build a big empire, man. I want to... Look, you know what I want? Like, the first thing I'm going to do when eventually we get Immortal Empires is I'm going to play as Nikari, or hopefully another Sineshi Lord if we get a DLC by that point. And I'm going to paint the map pink, man. Just hot pink. You know? That's what I want to do. Full hot pink.
Hey, I think that's an admirable goal for any human, to paint the world pink.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think that pretty much answers that. So, on to some other news. Adepticon happened, which was actually surprisingly good overall, I think. I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought it was actually a pretty nice show. Do you want to talk about the big thing that happened?
I have very conflicting things about Adepticon.
Okay, spill the tea. Oh, I'm curious.
Let's go down the reveals. Let me just open up Warhammer Community. I love that apparently resetting the program has reset everything else. I'm having one of those days. Okay. Because there's some stuff which is exciting for us as Warhammer Fantasy fans, like really exciting about, like a lot of stuff has promise. Did they not do like a "this is all the reveals" post, or am I just stupid?
They did, but it's been a bit. Here, I'll look it up. But like, feel free to just like pick some random thing and talk about it, and I'll dig it up.
Yeah, it's just.
How long ago was Adepticon? Was it? It was last week, right?
It was the 26th, wasn't it? Or was it 25th?
Okay, so they reveal. Okay, so there's that Sunday preview.
Oh, here they are. It's just scroll down a little bit. They've got the.
Hello.
No, stop playing the Twitch pre-play. Today's just not my day. Okay. Right, so we'll go via the order, right? Because some stuff is super cool. I mean, Necromunda Ash Waste looks fucking awesome. Like, I am so hyped up.
I love the big bugs. The bugs look cool.
Yeah. I mean, the fleas, they just look super, super nice. The terrain looks cool. It's kind of Star Wars-y. It kind of gives you like a... It's just really interesting to see what they're planning with Necromunda, especially since I have a feeling that it's not been doing so well lately, because a lot of people in my circle don't play.
I have no idea how it's doing globally. I mean, it's kind of one of those games where I think if you're not super into it, you're just gonna have like no idea how it's doing, because it's very niche.
Yeah. However, the good thing to talk about this is the fact that if it's not doing so well, GW didn't do the usual GW and just go away. You know?
Yeah, throw it in the trash.
Exactly. Now they're actually thinking, oh, how can we update this? How can we make this better? And I love the terrain. It looks silly, but in a fun way, man.
It's just cool to see Necromunda getting out of the Underhive, city crap.
Yeah. I mean, I love the fleas. I think the fleas are funny.
Yeah, I'm glad we're starting to see more like interesting like critters and stuff, because Necromunda, like, I always felt that it was so. To me, it was like too many people. I need more crazy things.
Yeah. No, I think it's like I'd be interested to play. They've got new types of dice too, and apparently there's going to be new vehicle rules and all that. So it's going to give you incentive to use some stuff. I hope that this means that we can just play around and import some, like, because essentially what this looks like to me is kind of like, I don't know, it's become a meme a lot in the forums, like Gorka Morka essentially.
Yeah.
And I would love that, right? If this is like inspired by Gorka Morka, I will give GW praise for it. Like, well done. We're going to have to wait and see, but it looks fun. And I think it looks cool.
Yep, and it's not Space Marines, so I give them full applause for doing something different.
Exactly.
I know that's so hard for them.
But yeah, next we had the Underhive and Underworld stuff, Harrow Deep.
Yes, which I'm super excited for this warband. Exile Dead, like, because in my brain I thought we had really gotten all of the Death warbands. And then they're like, hey, look, it's a zombie and necromancer warband, but the necromancer's this creepy guy who like doesn't have like his face is just like flesh. And he's been augmenting his zombies with like electricity power and like sewing them together with different body bits. Like, I just think it's super cool. Like, it's got a really nice theme to it of just zombie skeleton necromancer team.
Yeah.
Instead of, because the other Death warbands, like, we got the Osiric Bone Reaper warband, we've got the Vampire warband, we've got the all skeleton warband, and we've got the actually wait, no, that's not a Grave Guard. It's literally just a zombie, but he has armor. Oh, so yeah, so it's a pure zombie warband with a necromancer, and the zombies have like Frankenstein inspired electricity stuff going on.
Armored dude looks really interesting. I don't want to put a tinfoil hat on, but I'm just saying, does that not look kind of interesting? Like the shield, the one with the shield, the halberd, and the very interesting looking helmet. Like that armor is very, you know?
What's weird about him is he looks almost identical as far as like the way his armor is designed to the Grave Guard or the skeleton guys from the Ulfenkarn set, except he's a zombie, not a skeleton. But I will say I love the idea of like elite modified zombies, because like one of my favorite things from Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 2nd Edition when it came to undead, and something that I would love to see represented in Total War by like taking Thrott's system but altering it a bit, is that if you had a Necrarch character specifically, there were rules in the roleplay for you to like kit bash your own undead creatures by like using necromancy and surgery to like combine different pieces of different creatures together. Like the example they give was a spider ogre, which is like it's literally a gigantic spider. It's like, imagine a centaur, but the upper body is literally an undead ogre and the lower body is a gigantic spider. Not a giant spider, a gigantic spider, which is another class up. Like, it is terrifying. And that's what, like, the Abyssal Terror was. The Abyssal Terror was, like, the Griffin tier mount for the Vampire Counts.
Yeah.
And it was basically, like, amalgamate. So it was usually, like, the body of a griffin with the tail of a wyvern with the head of a something with the wings of a something. Like, it was like all these different horrible creatures combined together. And I really feel like this caught that theme out very nicely. So I'm excited for this warband, and I hope we get to see this kind of theme show up in some sort of Death Army at some point.
I'm just saying, the helmet to me looks kind of Eastern style. Just saying.
For like, oh, are you taking the Jade Vampire angle? Is that what you're doing?
No. Let me just try and Google this type of helmet.
Like, what culture are you thinking this zombie boy is from?
Search Ottoman helmets. Like, does that not give you that vibe?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it fits the vibe.
So, what I'm saying is, either equipment stolen from the Chaos Dwarfs, whatever they end up being, or with the whole Ottoman vibe and so on, around that style, zombie Araby.
Zombie Araby?
I'm not stopping with this. I'm telling you. I don't know.
Man, I think that's like I'm gonna slot that like if I think the possibility of Fishman is like here, I'm gonna put that like right around here. just another shelf down.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna have to clear off some dust and make space on a new shelf for zombie Araby.
I'm just saying, right? The helmet, the shield design, possible.
That's hilarious. I love that. Zaraby.
Zaraby. I'll die on that hill. We will get them eventually. I will die on that hill.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I could see a necromancer in Araby. I mean, there's a ton of famous necromancers from Araby.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, so Harrow Deep new warband's coming out. Then we've got Chaos Knights got announced, which is
I'm so happy about that. Holy crap, I am so happy about this. You have no fucking idea. Oh, they look so good. Wait, let me put them on my screen.
They do. I really like the one that has like the dog face. Like the hound face.
This looks so pretty. The thing is, like, A lot of the Chaos Knights were just like, you use the kit
So
from the Imperials.
explain to me, is this a big deal? And if so, why is this a big deal?
Because we're not stuck using the stupid loyalist kits all the time. Now we actually have like some more stylized stuff. I mean, look at it; it's so cool.
Okay, so these are the first like actual Chaos Knight minis?
No, we have Chaos Knight minis, but these are just like, now we've got a bit more oomph, right? Like, I'm looking at them, I'm like, holy crap, I can't wait to buy these, and like, I might even paint these day one. Because
wow, okay.
They just look so cool. I mean, look at that big boy there. What throws me off?
Cool.
Like, what throws me off is the vultures.
The vultures actually crack me up a good bit. Like, I don't know, it gives it like a really fun like oh, it's covered in carrion, so it's followed around by like horrible little bird monsters. But the thing that throws me off are the tusks on the big one. To me, I don't know why, but the tusks to me, like, I think I would take those off, because when I look at them, they just look super silly to me on that thing's face.
I like it. I honestly do. I hope we get different head options, though. I think there was, though.
I believe there are. I know I've seen different head options for the small one.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, like, I want to... They look so nice. I am just so happy. With these things, like, Chaos deserves love in 40k. Believe me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they did that announcement straight after going, oh, by the way, 2 wounds are coming for Chaos Space Marines.
Dude, that was so funny. Like, literally at the very end of the show, they were like, all right, we're done. And then there was this super cheeky trailer where they're like, all right, 2 wounds Chaos Space Marines, here you go. Shut up now.
Thing is, it could have been just fixed up with a freaking FAQ, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Chaos fans, myself included, just didn't want to play until that happened. But like, it's nice to see Chaos getting some love, especially with the Knights. Like, I know a lot of people got thrown out because actually, funny enough, because they always do these rumor engine things, right? A lot of people thought like, oh, some new Osiriah Bone Reapers, Osiriah Bone Reapers or whatever they're called, or maybe they're hinting.
Oh, from like, yeah, there's like a few bone things I could see through people off, but it's whatever.
Yeah, and like the tusks, I know some people were thinking about new models for the ogres and all that, because that's been rumored heavily.
Get there. These like Chaos Knights I know have been on people's wish list for
a long time. But obviously, within that same announcement, they had to, oh, by the way, new codex. It's like, yay, and also one for loyalists too. Like, yeah, I don't care about loyalists.
Might as well just get them both out of here. Whatever, go. Yeah, but that's an exciting time for 40k players. Like that's definitely a faction, and the trailer for it was genius, where it really seemed like it was a loyalist Imperial Knights trailer, and then it just flips, and it's like, whoa, oh my god, it's chaos. Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, and it's just I just can't wait to buy these models. Did they release a release date yet for that or not?
Not yet. But it can't be far. They've been releasing stuff fast lately.
Yeah.
Like I guess they must have gotten whatever issue they were having sorted out, because they've been like, we've been dealing with like really just like, maybe we get a new release like every 2 to 3 weeks, and now they're practically doing like every week is like boom, big stuff, boom, big stuff, boom, big stuff, boom, big stuff, and it's like, whoa, Jesus, slow down.
I think the main thing was that they said that they're trying to catch up with like everything, that because a lot of stuff got delayed due to working from home and so on.
Yeah, well, and based on I had heard a rumor that they were having issues with like printing. So like wherever they get their books printed from, they were having some kind of issue where they like couldn't get their books where they needed them to be, and they didn't want to like. Of course, GW didn't just want to release the digital copies and move forward with like the minis, because they print the minis at home, so like they have an easier time with those because they make them themselves.
Yeah.
But I don't think they make the books at home. I think they get those from somewhere else. So apparently they had run into some kind of issue, but I guess it's sorted now.
Yeah. Then
next up.
Oh, this one's really exciting. Yeah.
This is such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
The Norskins. Oh, and they look great. They look so good.
They do. And it's not like binging them on Chaos. This is Norskins.
Yeah, and the Wolfmen look awesome, and they're Lady Norskins too, which is great. They got like Valkyries,
Yeah.
on their team.
But you forgot about the most important model.
I think the passer. Oh no, okay. So there's two passers that are ladies, but it looks like also one of the like Blitzer brawler people is a woman as well.
Yeah, you forgot about the most important model though. The models.
The beer pigs.
Beer pigs.
Beer pigs.
How cute are they? Come on, man! Like
the thing I don't understand is like, are those supposed to go on the pitch? Like, are they like actual parts of the team, or are they like the little mascot models you get in the box that like you put off to the side?
Aren't they supposed to be the ball or something?
Well, like, no, they got little kegs on them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you could use them as the ball? I don't know, but you get two of them, so, like, I don't know. I don't know what they're supposed to represent. But,
so cute, man.
they are adorable. And, the Vikings, like, they just look great. Like, it just looks like just pure distilled Norska.
Yeah.
And just, like, super fun. Like, some of them have, like, freaking beer steins in their hand. Other ones have like these horrifying, like, bladed axe punch things. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a
brass knuckles,
iron knuckle. Yeah, but it's like in the shape of an axe head, and it's got spikes, which is like, good lord.
And
they've got the Wolfmen too.
Yeah,
which is super fun.
So, what do you think? Because obviously, we haven't seen Norska represented as or mentioned as Norska for a long time, right? Do you think because of this, maybe in Old World, Norska army book?
I could see it. I mean, just based on the fact that they got approval from Games Workshop to make Norska its own like separate race in Total War, like I would not be shocked at all to see Norska be its own thing, especially because like in one of the, I think it's the Kislev map for Warhammer the Old World, like you just see all the Norska tribes just like mentioned. So I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, if Norska got its own thing, because I think it would be nice to see Norska represented as a culture, and then you can kind of just have the Warriors of Chaos are more like your Kurgan and stuff as they come down. That could be really nice, and make like Norska, like it always felt like the Warriors of Chaos book was almost a little too stuffed, but I don't know. We'll have to see how they decide to do it.
Yeah, I think it's doable, especially now that they're showing the what were the because they had a special name, Wolfkin, weren't they?
Which ones?
Like the dudes that have a few mutations that look like they're not really skin wolves, but they're close enough.
Yeah, they have a specific name that's like not English.
Yeah.
it's like Ulf something.
Yeah, because they are in lore. I know some people asked me about the ones in the Blood Bowl team. I was like, no, they're in lore. It's just like a half a sentence.
They exist. It's just like it's like fairly minor. Yeah. The Yeti is still a thing, guys. It's just that most of the big guys are produced by Forge World, whereas like all the little guys are produced by Games Workshop. Not always though. Like I think you can get like the Troll and the Ogre and like one or two others in plastic from Games Workshop, but some of them you have to get from Forge World. I don't know if they're plastic or not, but like the Croxagore is Forge World only. You can't buy it from a GW. You have to buy it from Forge World.
Yeah.
And the Yeti is probably going to be the same.
Yeah, which is it's expected. Like wasn't the rumor, or did they outright say it once, that Forge World was going to be for specialist stuff constantly, even specialist games eventually, and all that?
Maybe. I don't know what's going on with Forge World. I don't even like to try and guess because it's so wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Especially with Horus Heresy and everything.
Oh yeah, well,
which we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no idea.
Next.
Moving on. Age of Sigmar. We got the Thondia set, which I am super excited about. I am very, very excited for this. So not only does it come with the new Season of War book, which is an actual book, instead of just being part of the, because this is our second Season of War. Granted, they only just started this, but the first Season of War was literally just part of our, essentially the core rulebook, or like it was like a battle pack, for the last year. But Thondia is a standalone book that looks super duper nice and has lore, which I'm super excited about, and of course all the updated rules and stuff. And we're getting a bunch of new minis. Most of them are terrain, but one of them is, I think, an incredibly sexy looking mini, which is the incarnate spirit of the Kronspine Incarnate of Gur, which is a gorgeous model. I love this model. And it's available to every single faction in the game. Anybody can take it, which I think is so exciting, especially for someone like me. Like, I play Nighthaunt. My army doesn't have monsters unless I want to take a Mourngul, but it's like not technical. It's like sort of part of my army, but not really. But for armies that like don't have monsters, or maybe don't have a great monster, this monster is going to be super kick-ass. Especially because monsters are so important when fighting in the realm of beasts. And it's just a badass looking mini. Like, especially like, dude, imagine kit bashing this into like a zombie dragon. Not that the zombie dragon kit is bad by any means, but like you could make a bitchin' kit bash using this thing.
I'm curious as to what they want to do. Obviously, we'll probably find out in the book or when they start doing more teasers and so on. So, the Elemental Winds Incarnate stuff is coming back then, right?
That seems to be the case, yes. This is a redesign of the Incarnate of Beasts, which had a Forge World model. No longer does. It's out of production.
Yeah, and finding them is very, very difficult.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had rules for the Incarnate of Fire, the Incarnate of Beasts, and the Incarnate of Death. We only got a model, though, for the Incarnate of Beasts. We never got a mini for Fire or Death, I think.
They previewed Fire, didn't they? But, like, it just never got released.
It was there for sale, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. A bit different to what I would imagine, because he doesn't really look like a beast to me. He looks like, Bones.
Well, it's more about like the AOS philosophy of like the way Realmstone appears in the Realm of Beasts, which is the Realm of Beasts Realmstone literally shows up as like bones. Like, it's giant monster bones that have, like, instead of bone marrow, they have the amber Realmstone inside of them.
Right.
So that's what it's heavily alluding to.
I mean, it looks cool. Bit different to my liking. I would have loved if they would have reissued the old Elemental Incarnate and just like being like, one day only. Well, it's GW, one day only, half an hour only. But
I would be thrilled to get a reprint of the old one, because I mean, I do think the old one was like, I feel like the old one had the identity of like the Wind of Beasts much better. This one is great to represent the realm of beasts in Age of Sigmar. But like, if you were to come to me and be like, hey, pick one of these incarnate elementals of beasts to be represented in fantasy, I would go with the old one, because it felt more like it was representing the lore as a whole, because it was like, it still had like a skeletal head, but it had like many different monster components while still being like vaguely humanoid, and also had that creepy ass, like super fucking creepy skull head, very reminiscent of like stag helmets and stuff, which are very traditional in Warhammer Fantasy for like beast gods and hunters and stuff.
Yeah.
This version definitely leans much heavier on its AOS influence.
Yeah.
But I for AOS, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I can't wait to see what they do with the others, especially since like we had artwork like really bad artwork, but that's it. Because the Elemental of Death looks cool. It was like the 2 twin dragon heads. And
it's great. Shit. I love the Elemental of Death. I liked all 3 of them that we got. I was always super sad we never got to see the other 5.
Yeah.
But I really hope this means Games Workshop is going to be releasing all 8. Because like just to have a design would be very nice. Moving on, fairly brief one, and I'm one of the very few people that cares about it. We got Alrock the Drowner, which I am so excited about this mini. I'm a Nighthaunt player, and he's a Nighthaunt special character. Sign me the fuck up. I am all in. And his lore is hilarious. Like, he is literally probably the dumbest character in the entire Nighthaunt book, and I'm so here for it. And that they're like, yes, there was a ferryman who worked on a river, and people would pay him, and he would take them across the river and then drown them. Why? Like, it's such a stupid story. And Ken Nagash is just like, I like this guy. He's got good business sense. And it's just like, what a stupid background. But I don't know why that endears him to me much more because he has a stupid background. I feel like he's gonna be the Tretch Craventail of the Nighthaunt special characters, and I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready for it.
I mean,
but he has a great mini.
Yeah,
beautiful mini. Looks like it's gonna be an absolute bitch to put together and paint.
Usually is nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, well, especially Nighthaunts. It's so wispy, dude. Everything's just like very like ethereal and but yeah, I'm super. Man, I'm kind of stressed about it because like I really like to run special characters in my army, and with this guy, Nighthaunt are gonna have 4 freaking special characters now. So like I don't know if I even want to try to make a list that has all 4 of them because I feel like it's gonna be just garbage.
Yeah. You still got fun factor though.
That's true. But we do have a new book coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. All right, on to what Games Workshop considered the biggest reveal.
This is kind of important. I mean, not just for Horus Heresy fans, but for us. But let's jump into the Horus Heresy stuff. First up, obviously, we're getting a new edition for Horus Heresy, which what feels like 3,000 years later. Because holy crap, they just keep releasing new miniatures but no new rule sets. But now it looks like a full new edition for Horus Heresy. Loads of people are very excited about. I at first was very angry, I must admit, because we've been waiting for some other stuff to get announced too. But, you know, we're getting a brand new edition. The fucking cinematic trailer was amazing.
Yeah, the movie was fantastic. Like that was probably one of the best trailers they've ever made.
Oh, definitely, by far. And I mean, it makes sense because we're going to the end of the Horus Heresy storyline now, which was what 50-something books or something. But you know, they showed off one model, which was they showed off a few models. They did show off a new.
They showed off 2 models.
Yeah, a Beaky with some very good trigger discipline, which is always nice to see because obviously you expect the Space Marines to have a
character, right?
No, just the basic Beaky.
Well, no, they showed off a Praetor as well.
Yeah, but I'm more interested with the Beaky because I love Beaky helmets. They just
yeah, they did show off 2.
yeah, we'll get to him in a sec, but. The Beaky is nice because it's a nice design. I've always loved those helmets, especially for like stealthy based armies, fast moving armies. It just looks like a whole I'm fast as fuck boy type of thing. So like, I love it and it's just great. Obviously we got the Praetor and he looks like he's hit the gym heavy. He's got a big axe too. There's guys here to take some names for sure. But I think the most important news is that these miniatures are going to be plastic. You know.
Yeah, it's that getting confirmation of that is really exciting for Warhammer: The Old World.
Yeah, like very, very exciting because I think a lot of us were kind of terrified about the idea of, resin and then kit
Yeah,
bashing and
I did not want resin fantasy minis. No, no, thank you. No, thank you.
yeah, like because it was just insane. It was just insane. Like this is promising. This is very, very promising, and I'm just so happy that we're going to see that. Obviously, we don't have confirmation for Old World, but I mean, if they're doing it for Horus Heresy, they're not going to be stupid enough, right?
Yeah, this gives hope. This gives a distinct amount of hope.
Yeah.
Copium, as they say.
Yeah. I must admit I was fucking salty during my live reaction on Twitter. Because, you know, we waited, we've been, Warhammer Old World got announced 3 years ago and still nothing.
To be fair, like, the Horus Heresy new edition leaked, like, a year ago,
Yeah.
2 years ago. Like, it leaked, like, a super long time ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather get them out of the way so we can have our time to ourselves, you know?
Yeah, it's likely for those waiting for the return of Warhammer Fantasy, we're going to have to wait until next year, I think, because they do an edition between each other. So they're not going to do Horus Heresy and then Old World and then potentially cut their profits because GW doesn't seem to realize that we can play multiple settings, or some of us are only interested in one setting because, yes.
Yeah, because Horus Heresy is definitely going to be the summer game.
Yeah,
the big summer release.
Yeah, they've already announced stuff, which is kind of nice.
Like, yeah, I mean, I've essentially in my head got like a 6-ish to like 3 to 6 month timer once they actually show us a Warhammer the Old World mini, which they still haven't done yet.
Yeah, we know that the Horus Heresy box will be seen by people in May, because they confirmed that they're going to do an event in Warhammer World, and they've invited some Horus Heresy content creators to take part too, which is actually really interesting because GW working with content creators, that's a bit strange, you know?
Call us.
Yeah, call us for Old World. Please.
Call us. We'll go. When Warhammer Fantasy, yeah, we'll show up.
I'll dance, man. I'll dance with a coconut bra and everything. But that's obviously quite exciting. It's nice to see that some Horus Heresy content creators are getting some love, which I think is well deserved because Horus Heresy has been in that state where it was left on quiet for a lot. So it's nice that they're getting some love. I'm excited. I can't wait for May. I unfortunately can't travel to the UK during that time, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm excited to see what comes of it because they're going to reveal the box there apparently, and they're going to let people paint a miniature early and keep the model too, which I think is really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Today on the Forge World website, a bunch of tanks went on last chance to buy. So that looks like it's going to go into a plastic iteration, which I think is quite good. Well, at least I hope. I really hope. I don't want to work with resin miniatures anymore. I get why they do it, but holy crap, man.
I've done one, and I feel like that was enough. that was as much as I'm willing to do.
A few days ago, I built up the Marienburg landship, right? And I really thought that I was going to have some sort of mental breakdown. Like, it's so bastardy to just glue together, and holy crap, I just
resistant to glue. It's so bad.
It's so bad, man. I when I finished, I just got up. I was like, I'm gonna cry, man. I'm just gonna cry.
When I put my Mourngold together, I got to the part where I like had to get it where like the whole model was like standing up on one arm, and like that part was just, it was fucking agony, dude.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
It's a great miniature, but it does have its issues there. But this is great, man. I mean, like, I'm super excited. I might even play Horus Heresy because if I wonder how they're going to keep it, because Horus Heresy kept on 7th edition 40k style rules, which I quite liked, but they're probably going to try and update it to make it a bit more streamlined.
We'll have to see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And then obviously we did have, for the final thing with Adepticon was that small video where they showed off, I want to say a Demon Prince. My heart wants to say Angron, but I know it's not Angron.
Yeah, that'd be something. That'd be something, but it definitely was a flash of, very quick flash of images.
Yeah, like, it could be an updated Demon Prince, couldn't it?
I mean, it could. It'd be kind of weird to not have like a whole thing dedicated to that, but it'd be kind of hilarious. I mean, people are dying for a new demon, a Primarch of any kind, demon or regular. A lot of people just want a new toy.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I'm just happy 2 wounds, man, because like I play Emperor's Children, and I also play a little bit of Black Legion, so it's nice to have a bit of hope. I mean, we don't know when it's coming. It's just like at this point, 2 wounds. It's so important. Holy crap! I wanted to cry.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Turin will be happy for his Death Guard. But yeah, exciting times. Pretty much everybody got something. Like, the only update we didn't get that we would have liked was something on Warhammer the Old World.
Yeah.
But I do hope we get a new article soon, with like an update to the map at least. That'd be nice.
More parts of Grand Cafe that we've already seen.
I know, they're like, let's do the Grand Cathay one. It's like, oh, they're gonna show Cathay, and we're like, only like 85% of, like, I think 10% of it was new.
Yeah.
It was like, look, there's Yuan Bo, and that's all you get.
Yeah.
It's like, bastards.
It is really
What are you
strange.
hiding? What are you hiding down there?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? So when it comes to that last article, they said that they weren't going to show us more because of something, right? And it's like, if you go down too south, there's Ind. And I know that you guys have been working on Ind at this point. Because
my money is actually that, like, and I totally believe, but I also feel like they probably have like the Monkey King already annotated on there, since they probably did Cathay all at once.
Yeah.
And like, for some reason, they're like keeping his name a secret, and like keeping a lot about him a secret for right now. So maybe, like, I almost think that the Monkey King is what they were trying to hide.
Yeah. I mean, it would be very GW if they decided, fuck it, let's just call him Sun Wukong, because that's what they do. But
everybody does, though. Like, it's such a trope in video games to have the Monkey King and call him Sun Wukong. Like, even League of Legends freaking did that. Yeah. Like, tons of games do that.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting. I still think that they should have shown us like Estalia to the air and all that, but I guess it makes sense with cross promotion and all that. It's about time the GW are learning how to cross promote. It's a 40-year-old company or even more, and they've only just figured, if we promote with video games.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're still pretty new to the playing nice with others game. After many years of just like crushing everyone that got too close.
Yeah, but I don't know. What's your theory on the next update then, from G-Dubs?
I think it depends on when it happens. If it's like soon, like in the next month or two, then I think it's probably going to be something like the dwarfs. I think the dwarfs are very likely to get a big update.
Yeah.
If it is, my money would be on the dwarfs, because they've kind of been like between a lot of the realms that we've seen, but we haven't got a specific thing on them yet.
Yeah.
If it's like this summer, so like a few months away, I actually think it's going to be the Darklands. And they're going to time it with the Chaos Dwarf announcement.
Yeah. I think that would make the most sense, because the average, because I had a massive rant on it, is that they release an article on average now from 3 to 5 months. So we've already had one. When did that come out, actually?
I think it was like last month. It was after Total Warhammer 3 released.
Yeah, let me just search.
I think.
Yeah, the day after. Literally the day after.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, if we give it like 3 to 5 months, that will put us in 3, Well, 3 at the minimum is June. So yeah, it could either be Darklands if we end up getting Chaos Dwarfs. Well, when we get Chaos Dwarfs, because like
I mean, the iron is so hot right now for Chaos Dwarfs, is that like they are the only they're the race that's gonna bridge what they've shown so far in the Empire and Kislev to Grand Cathay.
Yeah.
And they are also, or at least closer to Cathay. Who knows? Maybe we'll get ogres, but soon. But they also have been really heavily building up to the Chaos Dwarfs in Age of Sigmar, like to just a stupid extent.
Yeah.
Or like the Orc Warclans book had like a good number of hints, but like the new Fireslayer book has a ton of Chaos Dwarf shit in it.
Yeah.
Like it just openly talks about them.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what they do. My theory is that those are the miniatures that we'll be using, which is going to be weird because the sizing in Age of Sigmar is a bit bigger.
I don't think it'll be too bad.
Yeah, because like they'll have to fit on the stuff. I can't wait. Like if you know, like perfect world, right? And this is me going completely hoping, and I know it's never going to happen and all that bullshit. But it would be really nice if it's the same miniatures and they're backward compatible, with G-Dub saying, by the way, they're going to be usable in Old World. You know,
I would honestly be shocked if they didn't do that at this point. But I don't know.
It's very stupid marketing on their point. You know, they don't think ahead. But like,
because that would just make me want to buy more of them.
Exactly.
like
exactly. Like I would buy a shit ton of them, and that would make like that. How many people like in chat, right? In both our chats, would you, if you end up playing Warhammer: The Old World, would you play Chaos Dwarfs?
And to be fair for anyone listening, not every model would probably cross over. Like there would probably be some models, like special characters would probably be exclusive to one or the other. And there might be some Chaos Dwarf minis in Age of Sigmar that just don't make sense in fantasy, and they would just be like, these are AOS exclusive because they got like crazy technology or something.
Yeah.
Squats Infinite, how you doing, man?
I think it would be cool. I think that if we end up getting that, like a lot of people, I've got some people saying yes and all that. Someone saying Koresh.
I've got a good number.
I mean, it would be freaking cool because that would then more or less be the models that we're expecting for. Well, it will probably be announced around the same time, but if it gets announced earlier, that would be the models that we're expecting for the DLC, because I think that they're probably going to do a bit of a visual redesign for the Chaos Dwarfs, because we have 2 different sets for Warhammer Fantasy. Obviously, we got big hats, and then we've got the more industrial ones. I think they're going to try and combine both.
Yeah, I imagine they'll try and find like a happy medium between the two.
I mean, it would be fucking cool. I would love. I just want I want them in Total War. I want them in freaking tabletop. I don't want to paint resin. I don't want to paint metal.
Yeah, plastic, please.
Yeah.
Give me my world destroying plastic, please.
Dreadquake in plastic would just be wonderful. Just so good. But like, you never know. You never know. Yeah, your theory does make sense. Like, if anything, it's either going to be dwarfs that they've been teasing. It's either going to be Chaos Dwarfs, or it's going to be Ogre Kingdoms. Unless they just throw us a ball pack and go like, oh, by the way, here are the halflings.
Hey, yeah, they could. That would be so stupid. They're like just hyper zoomed in on the moon, and it's like, that's all you get. See you in 3 months. It's like, bastards.
You've got chicken riders, pig riders, and you get to throw guinea pigs at people, right?
Throw guinea pigs.
Exploding guinea pigs. Come on, think about it.
That sounds awful for everyone involved. Just shrieking guinea pigs that explode.
Come on. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect.
Ammunition that's probably more traumatizing to the person that uses it than the person that's hit by it. In any event, that's pretty much everything, I think. Big that's been going down lately. I don't really have too much else. unless there's something specific that's popping into your mind.
Actually, yeah. We've both had enough time now with Up in Arms, right?
Oh yeah, I guess, sure.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see Myrmidia getting such love from that. I think it was really, really interesting that obviously it's a god that didn't really get a lot of attention. I'm still thinking, like, the more I read into it, and we discussed this last time, but the more I read into it, I'm like, Dogs of War book, new one, now, please,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Up in Arms to me feels like, it almost feels like, well, the weird thing about Up in Arms is it almost feels like a Talea book. Though obviously Myrmidia is like this big branching point between Talea and Astalia. And honestly, reading the book and like when you read through her lore, she fundamentally to me feels more like she belongs to Astalia more than she belongs to Talea. By a little bit. But the book does give me massive strength in the thought that we will at least get a Dogs of War faction, if not just an outright Talea faction.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the more I read into it, and it's cool, like because like the warrior priest from Myrmidia is very stylized and very different. I quite liked her armor set. I thought she was really cool looking. I thought it was really, really interesting. They a lot of people don't seem to realize, and I'm going to say it here in the chat for everyone. A lot of stuff which happens in the, like, because a lot of people see it as different settings, right? And yeah, that's perfectly fine. It kind of is. But they do seem to be kind of linked because we've got a new lore on, like, a lot of stuff early in the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay books, which then kind of shows in some way, shape, or form in, say, for example, Total War.
Yeah, it's happened multiple times.
Yeah,
like a pattern recognizable number of times.
Yeah. And like because like we had the new Cathayan law there, which was
yep, that was where we first heard about New Cathay.
Yeah, and it's happened with loads of different things, so it's like it's definitely, it is way too much of a fucking coincidence. That, or like I'm just reaching out here at this point and just grabbing whatever, but like it feels way too much of a coincidence.
I think there's definitely a connection there too. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's just like I just honestly can't wait. Like this feels the book itself. I know you said it was mostly Talea, and I thought it was kind of like establishing the god more than anything.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, we do get the history of Talea.
Yeah.
Which is nice, and like we get some, most of it is basically just the old lore. Like the lore is fairly similar to its second edition. There was a couple updates here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It definitely is much more of a Myrmidia book, but because Myrmidia is like, I think the best way to put it would be that because the Knights of the Blazing Sun have a really big Myrmidia thing, and they travel to Talea as their like home, for their like that's where their like Temple of Myrmidia is.
Yeah.
That's why we get all that information.
Yeah.
But we do get a pretty extensive amount of info on Talea and its different cities and its culture and a bunch of other stuff.
Exactly. Like there's a lot of potential. I mean, I'm still holding out hope. I'm holding out hope. It's the thing with Dogs of War being so interesting. I still want it to be like separated. I want like, Renaissance / Roman style Tilians and conquistador Estalians and shit like that, because I think it would be really cool if they finally got separated into their own thing, just to give them a bit of love. I don't know. It's like, because a lot of people, I've been having this conversation with people with Dogs of War, right? Because I like to Theorycraft with my viewers and all that. And I'm still thinking, like, if we get Dogs of War for Warhammer 3, I'm still thinking it's going to be some sort of, like, Horde faction very similar to that of Memnon in Troy, which I know you've probably not played yet.
Nope.
Yeah, you see? But, like, he had a really fun mechanic, which I thought was really interesting. because it was a map with separate countries, and you recruited units from those countries, which I thought was fucking cool.
Yeah, that could definitely work.
And like, it's one of those things. I know a lot of people telling me is just stop feeling hopeful for Dogs of War, stop feeling hopeful, dragging the dead horse. Mind you, a lot of us.
If you don't feel hopeful for Dogs of War, then what? Why do you come here?
Yeah.
Like, what are you even doing here?
Yeah, because like those are the same people who are like, oh yeah, you stop thinking hopeful for cafe, and here we are.
Those are the people that bitched at me when we did the whole campaign to beg CA for GW for Cathay, and everyone's like, you're taking over this pole and ruining it, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
I remember
damn fools.
Like there was that company NetEase was it? Yeah, the mobile company. They accidentally confirmed cafe once. I did a video, right? This was months prior,
yeah.
And I had people like outright DMing me, like insulting me, going, "Cafe's not coming." It's like, think what you want, dude, but I'm gonna come back to this comment and say I told you so, and you know what I did? Like I am a petty little bastard, but
yeah, I did the exact same thing with Boris. Like I literally had like a written list of names, and when Boris got announced, I came on stream and like read down the list of names, and was like, all these people are wrong. But yeah, it's not being petty; it's being.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Come back to me on that one.
There's only so many times that someone can tell you you're wrong, and you're like, I'm not wrong, man. Like,
listen, I'm losing in many aspects of my life. I gotta take my wins where I get them.
Yeah, let me have this. Oh god, yeah. I feel that. I honestly feel that. I honestly feel that. But no, I'm hoping. I mean, none of us expected Koresh Law getting updated. None of us expecting anything. Hell, I wasn't expecting. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting Cafe to come out as a.
I still have days where like Cathay. I like look at Cathay and I'm like, what the, what timeline is this?
Yeah. I was expecting it to I was expecting it to come, but I was expecting it to be a DLC. Like.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. They look great, and I'm looking forward to paint the miniatures eventually. It was just very strange.
Nice.
It's just very, very strange.
All right, we need to call it because I got to go do stuff.
Yeah.
But thank you all so much for joining us today. Hope you all had a good time and enjoyed listening. Apologies that there's no who would win today, but unfortunately we're out of time.
Yeah.
Nathan, you got anything big coming up over the next week or so you want the people to know about?
I am going to try and get my schedule sorted for Twitch, twitch.tv/The Great Book of Grudges, because everything's dying for me at the moment. Let me just get back to a schedule, but I promise everything will be back to normal. And if everything goes well, next week we will be recording, finally, because we've done the testing, the first official battle report.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
There's been a lot of testing. I slammed my head into the wall a few times, punched the wall a few times too.
Is this a video or a live stream?
It will be videos, but like we had to experiment because I wanted it to be a lot of battle reports, like 2 hours, right? And I wanted to be like comfortably within 40 to 60 minutes. Just to be able to have everything, but not be throwing too much out with loads of different stuff. Having some.
Yeah, I am curious to see what how that's gonna work. I'm looking forward to it.
Hopefully, it will go well. We've tested. My poor friend Kieran, if you're listening, I am so sorry. but we're quite excited. What about you?
I've got a couple of big things coming up. Later today, I'm going to be doing my first, well, maybe not technically my first, but my first sponsored stream, which will be interesting. It's probably going to be in about 2 or 3 hours.
Nice.
So if you want to help support me, feel free to pop by www.twitch.tv/LoreMasterofSotech, or keep an eye on my Twitter or Discord for when I go live, because I would appreciate support on that, so I can make some muns. And I am very excited to announce that my Engine of the Gods has arrived. So my new PC is here.
Nice.
It is still in its box. I am probably going to unbox it and start setting it up tonight. But I'm super duper excited. It is a stupidly expensive and stupidly powerful machine. And I even bought a brand new microphone, and I've got a new mouse coming in, and lots of just new stuff.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a stressful few days getting all that set up and hopefully not break anything. But and I've got to like move all this shit out, and there's just stuff. So much stuff to do. But it is what it is. Anyway, thank you all again for watching. We will see you next time. Just a reminder, there will not be an episode of Lorebeards on Sunday because there's other stuff going on. We will be maybe do an episode sometime during the week next week, and worst case scenario, we'll see you the Sunday after that.
Yeah.
So thank you all again for watching, and I'm going to turn off the recording now. Goodbye.
See you, everyone. You have a great day. Oh wait, now that I'm, how do I do this now? Because all the settings have changed. Do I end YouTube stream first or Streamlabs first? I'm really confused. Because
if you want to turn the stream off, I would end YouTube first to be safe.
All right, cool.
But I'm gonna hang up and go talk to my chat now. See you, dude.
See ya.
Have a good weekend, man.
You too.